do it, how you did it, how you get it done. Is it passion, automatic, or you do it for fun? Every episode, it's full of knowledge and some game just to let you know. You still out here making moves, even if it's slow. Don't worry about it, be on your way. Only God determine your fate. You gotta jump, just don't wait. This the fly guy, baby, and you know I'm on my way. Just tune in, you can catch a play when you listen to
these bars for breakfast on a weekday. Come and see who on the guest list. Crypto, credit, and real estate investments. Looking for some entrepreneurs to tell me just how you do it. These bars for breakfast on a weekday. Come and see who on the guest list. Crypto, credit, and real estate investments. Looking for some entrepreneurs to tell me just how you do it.
What's going on, everybody? It is your host, Freshie, the Fly Guy, and we are on another episode of Bars for Breakfast. I got my beautiful co-host with me. Let them know what your name is, sweetie.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your girl, Nicole, Millionaire, Welton.
Listen. Got to give it up for my queen, man. So on this session, what we wanted to do is we wanted to talk to the people about some important things moving forward in their life. You know, everybody has trials, everybody has tribulations, and I think we want to share some information with them. Ain't that right, baby?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so what we want to start out with is understanding the value of family, right? And knowing the difference between family and friends. Because in life, you're going to have family, and guess what? You don't get to choose who they are. Mm-hmm. No matter if they're good, bad, you know, lazy, whatever you want to call it, but you don't get to choose them, okay? But you can choose your friends. What you got to say about that, baby?
Yeah, that definitely is a major difference, of course. Like you said, we don't have the choice of who our family is. We don't get to choose who our mom is, our dad, siblings, but friends, you definitely want to be careful even with that word. For a long time, I used to call everybody my friend. Oh, yeah, this is my friend. This is my homegirl. This is my friend. But friend has a meaning behind it, and I think that's something that is built over time and through experiences with one another to truly even get that title as a friend.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, it's so funny when you think about friendship, you have to earn that.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, we listen to Bishop T.D. Jakes all the time. Big shout out to him when he talked about, you know, friendships and acquaintances and things like that. And I think it's important to, the same way you would have a criteria for someone that you are calling yourself in a relationship with, I think that you should have that same criteria when you think of a friend.
Absolutely. You definitely got to have that criteria because, you know, the old saying goes back to you are who you hang around. So especially if you are in a season in your life where you're trying to continue growing and elevating and you're around so-called friends and they just want to talk about the same things and do the same things, well, then now you got to reevaluate, is this a friendship? Because if it is a friendship, you are friends with someone who has a similar mindset as you. So you don't feel like you got to conform and be less of yourself to still fit in.
So let's do this, right? Let's go back and forth with each other.
Yeah.
And say what type of qualities that we look for in a friend, right? So that we can kind of build the criteria of things that, you know, the listener should just consider. Not to say that they got to take the same steps or whatever, or have the same beliefs. They are entitled to whatever they want to do. But I think these are going to be some key things, you know, when we go back and forth. So ladies first.
I'll say loyalty.
Loyalty.
That's going to be big out the gate. You know, with a true friend, you all should be able to have that type of relationship where you share things with one another and you don't have to worry about if it's going to be shared with others. So loyalty.
I like that. You know what? I'm thinking passion. Like they're passionate about something. You know, it doesn't matter what that is, as long as it's passion in it. You know, because I feel like when people say they do something or they want to do something, but they don't have no passion, it's like I can't trust your judgment on it because you're not serious about it.
Right. One of the things I say is respect. Respect for yourself and also respect for others. Because, again, when you look at qualities that you want in a friend, these also should be qualities you have in yourself.
Absolutely. Yo, all right, so we got loyalty, we got respect, we
Passion.
got passion. Here's one that I think is important as well, reliability. You know what I mean? Because just because a person say they're gonna do something, that kind of puts you in a position to make a decision based on you thinking that this person is actually gonna do it.
Right.
So I want to be able to rely on you and count
Right.
on you and know like, yo, you got me covered. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. One, I would say, so we got passion, we got loyalty, we got respect, and we got reliability. One of the things that goes with all of those things, I would say that's important as a quality in a friend is trust as well.
Mm,
Because see, you got respect, that's having respect for yourself and others, but
right.
trust is a different thing as well, because trust is something that's also earned
Right.
over
Right.
time and not something that's just given.
That's right. That's right. So I mean, as y'all can hear, these are qualities that you should be looking for when you're looking for a good friend. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to understand the difference between associates, acquaintances, you know what I'm saying? Individuals that you come across in your life, whether it be at a job, whether it be, you know, playing basketball in the park. You might meet somebody and y'all just click. You know what I mean? That's cool, but that's not your friend. You got to understand how to define that. Now, moving forward past that, right? You know, I know that most people in life right now, babe, they're trying to figure out what to do with themselves,
Yeah.
right? And we're both entrepreneurs, you know, building six-figure businesses and helping a lot of people out. So I want to start talking about that. Like, you know, Bars for Breakfast is supposed to be a platform that allows people to, you know, be able to get something from it. They get a lot of game, they get a bar, and they can run with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we listen to podcasts all the time.
We do.
You know what I mean? Big shout out to David Shands. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Social proof is where it started at for
Yes.
us. So, you know, I want to do that for them right now. You know what I mean? And what I want to talk about is understanding what your purpose is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Understanding what your purpose is and how to identify what your purpose is.
Yeah, that's gonna be big because a lot of times I think, especially in the era that we in with social media and technology, it's easy to look at other people and what they're doing and say, okay, well, because they're living this life and they're having this amount of success or they're making this amount of money, I want to do that too. But that's not purpose or passion, because you can say you want to do that,
Right.
but then once you start doing that, you may find out, well, this is not really for me or I don't like it. Why? Because that's not your purpose.
Right.
And that's why you don't have the passion to do it. So you got to really be able to sit down with yourself and say, what is something I'll do whether I receive money for it or not?
Mm.
What is that one thing? Some people have a gift of singing, rapping, you know, some people have a gift of talking, helping people, being a listening ear. Like, what is that one thing? And that'll help you, I believe, find your purpose.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off that, I always believe that your purpose is something that stays with you for a very long time.
Yeah.
So when you dig into yourself and you go back in your memories, you'll find yourself in positions where you're like, wow, you know, this thing keeps coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that one thing that keeps coming up 9 times out of 10 people, that's your purpose knocking
Right.
at the door. But see, the thing about it is that you have to open the door for it. There
Yeah.
are people that, you know, are great at something, and everybody around them will be like, yo, you're really good at singing, or you're really good at drawing, or, you know, you're really good with kids. But
Right.
they'll brush it off. They'll
Yep.
brush it off. Yeah, but I don't really, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yo, that could be your calling. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think it's important to think about it from a biblical standpoint. Yes, we are Christians. Give it up for God.
Absolutely.
Lord Jesus Christ, right? Give it up for the Lord, right? So I think it's funny because remember, he told Jeremiah that I knew who you were from the womb.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so when we come into this world, we come into this world with purpose.
Right.
We heard a sermon the other day where he said, you were on a workbench and God was putting in you what was supposed to come out of you.
Right.
And you got to dig deep into yourself to bring that thing out of you.
Right.
You feel me?
Absolutely. And one of the things that's important too is once you stop comparing yourself to other people. You know, we have social media. Yes, we love social media, but you got to be able to enjoy social media without allowing it to control you, or not allowing it to have it feel like that you're not where you're supposed to be because what you see other people doing and how they're living. And I think that's something that holds a lot of people back from finding their purpose, is because they're feeling like, well, I need to be this type of person, or I need to dress like this person and talk like this person and walk like this person. No, you need to be yourself. And that's why we all are individuals. And because with your individuality, that is what you need to be able to provide and bring to the world. We don't need a copy or a duplicate of somebody else.
Right. And it's so funny about that because I was reading a book the other day. Babe, I love reading books. Listen,
You
people,
do. You read
I
all
read
the
a lot
time.
of books, you guys. I read a lot of books. And one of the things that I came across when reading the book, it said that your social media presence is actually looked upon in a negative way, no matter what you're putting out. And I'm gonna tell you why. Don't judge me first. They like, what you talking about? Let me explain. So when people see you on social media living this luxury life, you driving all these fancy cars and you in these nice hotels and things like that, immediately the first thing they think is that it's a front, right? The first thing that come to people's mind, oh, they rented that car, or that's an Airbnb, or so it's almost pointless to try to portray something that you're not, or claim that you have something that you don't. You know what I'm saying? I think the best person you can be is yourself. So it's like, okay, how do you identify who you are? Well, the truth of the matter is, when you look into the mirror, the person that you see, are you happy with that person?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I have this vision, and on my arms, I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all can't see it, but for the viewers, it says Fly Guy. And I don't want y'all to get that misconstrued and think that it was some type of conceited thing going on with me. Fly Guy means first love yourself, that God understands you. That's what Fly Guy means, okay? So when you understand yourself and you love yourself, right, you have an easier chance of finding out what your purpose is.
Absolutely. And I mean, when we think about it, a good question I think that the listeners should think about as well is, if you only had 6 months to live, we hear this in a lot of personal growth and self-development things that we listen to, but if you only had 6 months to live, what would you focus on and what would you do? If you had 6 months left to live and you had to leave a legacy or leave some type of impact on the world, what would you do in that 6 months? Because, see, people move different with urgency.
Right.
But when they feel like they have the time, they never get it done.
It's like the Pareto principle with the 80-20.
Yeah.
People, like, if you tell somebody to, get an assignment done and they have 7 days to do it, they're going to use the whole 7 days to get it done, right? But if you tell them the same assignment that they only got 24 hours to get it done, they're going to get it done in 24 hours. And so that's what we have to put on our life, because it's like, how serious are you about finding out what your purpose is? Ladies and gentlemen, the thing about having a purpose and knowing your purpose is that once you identify it, I like to look at it this way. This is my metaphor for it. It's like planting the seed, watering it, and then eating the harvest when the tree actually sprouts. Because the Bible says that you judge a tree by its fruit. And you can't have fruit if you don't have a seed. You can't have seed if you don't got good soil. You can't have good soil growing seeds without water. So it's a process to understanding that. And one of the things for you is purpose. The moment you identify your purpose, now God can start watering you, planting seeds.
He can bless it.
He can bless it. I find it interesting that people, pray and they say they Christians and they say that they believe in God and stuff like that, but you don't see them working. And when I say working, I'm not talking about a 9 to 5, right? I'm talking about understanding the kingdom principles. The Bible says if a man don't work, a man don't eat. The Bible also says faith without work is useless. And then what that means to us as believers is this, that you have to be doing something in order for God to really shine in your life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he's doing that. Check this out. He's doing that so that he can get the glory. Like, he wants the glory. So when you get something or you're blessed with something or something happens where you thought it shouldn't have happened, understand that that's him taking the glory. So make sure you give him back his praise.
Yeah, and you can't. I think, too, another thing with society is we do wait around on people to just hand it or give it to us. It kind of is like that entitlement mentality. Well, somebody should just give me all the game for free. They're already rich. They already made it. So why they got to charge, or why should I have to invest in myself? If you already made it, you already did it. You should just give me the game for free. Well, that's why they are successful, because they did invest in themselves, because it was somebody that they looked to get the game. But the only difference is it wasn't for free. Right. So you can't have that entitlement, right, mentality and thinking people are just supposed to give to you, and you give nothing to yourself or to others and think that you're going to be successful. Correct. So that even goes hand in hand with that, with your purpose and passion, because the whole reason behind us having a purpose is to give
That's right.
in some capacity.
That's right. You're going to have to give. You got to give because the Bible says that it is better to give than receive.
Right.
Right. And the good givers always receive more. Right. And it's funny. So when we think about, careers, jobs, occupations, talents, all of these different things, all of that is still a form of work. You know what I'm saying? And so when we focus on our purpose and we focus on doing our work, because everybody's work's different, what you're going to start seeing is that the economy will rise. I know a lot of people, not to get off subject, but, we're just going to keep moving it along as I'm up here with my beautiful co-host. But, like, the economy right now is a little low. You got people, scared of this war, and I'm not a political man at all. But I do want to say something about it because, I think it's important for people to understand the role that they play in their lives, right?
Yeah.
So God is the creator, number one. And number two is the fact of the matter is if you're still here, you still have a purpose.
Right.
You feel me? And I had somebody come up to me the other day and say to me, what are you going to do if we go to war? This is World War III. You know what I told that gentleman? I said, believe it or not, I wasn't here for one or two. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't here for World War I nor World War II. So I don't really got the time to pour into wondering what am I going to do with 3. See, I believe that 3, if or without it coming, doesn't matter. I'm still going to be in the kingdom regardless.
Right.
Regardless, I pray for any soldiers that may go to war and lose their lives. I pray for any families that may be affected by any type of national, those nuclear strikes and stuff. But at the same time, the God that we serve, y'all, the God that we serve, he knows where to send the attack. Okay, don't forget. This is turning into a sermon.
It is turning into a sermon because it's good though.
It's in the building.
It's good though because what you focus on is what grows. Like right now, we're still in a pandemic, right? Going on 2 years been in a pandemic, but you have people who focused on still becoming the best version of themselves and became wealthy in a pandemic. Then you have some people that every 5 minutes they're looking at CNN or they're looking at news updates on how many people got caught COVID today or how many people lost their lives, but that's what you're focusing on.
Right.
Because, see, you can't focus on 2 things. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're either going to focus on bettering yourself, and no matter what happens in the economy, you create your own economy.
That's right.
Right? Versus looking at what's going on, quote, unquote, on the news, right? They call CNN negative news, right? That's what the double N stand for, negative news. So it's all about what you focus on. That's what's going to grow. And it's all about what you entertain and, you know what I mean? And that's what you become.
Here's a quote. Understand this, you guys, that TV is television programming.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to say that for you so you can understand
break
why.
That down.
Listen, television programming. This is how every Sunday you're glued to the TV waiting for the new episode of Pop.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? And this
8
is
o'clock sharp, kids in the bed.
Listen, you can't miss it, right? Or this is how you're able to get on social media and stay locked in for hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Watching careless, stupid things going on, right?
Yeah.
But here's the way you break that. You find out what you need to be doing, write it down. And this is that we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We do this. So it's not like I'm up here trying to just tell y'all to just jump off a bridge and don't use a parachute. No. This is what we do to stay productive, right?
To.
Write out what you got to do for the day before.
Yeah.
And then you write out what you got to do for the week before. And then you write out what you got to do for the month before. And y'all know the rest.
Exactly.
Write out what you got to do for the year before.
Right.
That's called goal setting. That's called planning.
Yep.
Okay. Y'all know in episode 4, I spoke about the books that I'm reading and things like that. And so I just want to say this book again, because this book is powerful. Outwitting the Devil. It was a lot of controversy with this book. I've had you read it too. And, people that believe in Jesus, they should know better than to think that the enemy could take us in any kind of way. But the book had a lot of value when it came down to the principle of how the enemy really gets us. And one of the things he does is makes us drift. He makes us get off course. As long as you can stay on course, you can have abundance. As long as you can stay on course, you can have the wealth. But if you drift, now he got you. That's how you start thinking doubtful. That's how you start having anxiety attacks. That's how you start going into depression. Nobody gets into depression without having negative thoughts, people.
Right. I've never seen a happy person to person.
You can't actually try to have a negative thought and smile at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't do it. It's like
Right.
Tony Robbins teaches that. He's like, pick your head up, smile, stand up, and then feel sad. It's like you can't
do all that. I mean? Right. Exactly.
So, I find it very important for people to understand that language of body language and, putting their best foot forward and keeping their thoughts positive. That's important.
One thing I think as well that's important for people to realize when they are trying to find their purpose and when they are trying to become the best version of themselves is the motive and the reason why you're doing it. And trust in the process. We hear that a lot, trust the process. But really going to God, that's something I can definitely say that we do before we make any big decision or moves. We go to God first and get the confirmation and get the answers, because when you have God in the mix, it's no way you're going to be led down the wrong path. There's no way that, you see what I'm saying, that you're going to be confused, because anything involving God doesn't have confusion in it.
That's the way maker. I mean, I like that you brought that up, because sometimes people go to God for confirmation, but what you really should be going to God for is permission.
Yeah.
You understand that? If you look at the scriptures, what David did, David went and got permission to go fight the Philistines. You know what I mean? So you got to understand, like, you can have a great idea and you think it makes all the sense in the world, but if you didn't go to God for permission, and so let me break that. Let's break that down for the people. Let's break that down. So you got an idea to start a business, right? And you don't know if you should. Yeah. You're nervous. You're having second thoughts. Your friends and family telling you don't know enough. You don't have enough. It's never going to work, right? So then what you do is you pray and go to God. Now, I want to explain this to y'all. The Spirit is in the building. When you go to pray, that don't mean you sit down and ask God for the same thing over and over and over and over again. That is not praying. Okay? Right. Understand what Jesus said in the book of Matthew. He said, the Our Father, but you don't even have to do that. What you have to do is get into a quiet corner. That could be your closet. That could be your room. That could be the bathroom. It doesn't matter. Just get into a quiet place and go into prayer and let God speak to you. He already knows what you want. Remember, he said, I will give you the desires of your heart. Right. So when you go there, here's what happens. And you ask him in the spirit, Lord, can I do X, Y, and Z? Lord, is it good for me to X, Y, and Z? Lord, may I X, Y, and Z? Then watch this. He'll give you the answer, right? Whether it be yes, nor, he'll give you the answer. And then something or someone will bring the confirmation.
Absolutely. It could be that next phone call.
You understand?
Or, as soon as you open up, you got a text message. You like,
that's how it works. We teaching them right now, sweetie.
Exactly.
We teaching them. Because a lot of people throw everything into the confirmation, but they never got permission.
Yeah.
Feel me? You might get confirmation that you need to go pray. You know how many times somebody might say to me like, hey, Freshie, God said go fast. I'm like, wow, I just heard that. Like, that's confirmation.
Right.
So when we go for permission first, and then we look for the confirmation, God is a God of order, people. Right? Yeah. He's a God of order. And I think it's important for y'all to understand that we support everybody's beliefs and, but at the end of the day, it's only one God. You know what I'm saying? And I needed y'all to know where me and my queen stand at when it comes down to it. We pray every day, several times a day. Okay? We give him his time. I want y'all to start really thinking about how much time do you spend with God? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I want y'all to start thinking about that. Like, 'cause
it's a good question.
It is.
Because it's so easy to not do it.
Listen. Because
see, people sometimes, we can touch on this and kind of talk about this. Sometimes people only go to God when they're in a bad situation. And TD preached on this. You can't just go to God when you want him to get you out of a situation or you want him to get you out of something. Why not go to God when it's good, indifferent, or bad? Either way, like, it should be automatic. I got to go to God. I got to pray. I got to read my Bible. I got to give him his time. Yes. And not just looking for him to solve your problem. Because think about it. How would you feel if somebody just came to you every time they needed you to bail them out?
And you know what? I was reading the book of Ecclesiastes, and it was talking about the time and place.
Right.
For everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? So people, listen, man, we just wanted to come and share this stuff with y'all because I know that the world is going through a lot right now. You got some people that's worried, and I know my listeners, they be, asking questions like, God, what's going on? Why is my situation like this? Or whatever the case may be. But don't forget, he's still the same God. Okay.
Still the same God.
You're not waiting on him. He's waiting on you.
That's a fact.
All right.
That's a fact.
He's waiting on you. So, let's give a big round of applause to my beautiful co-host. Y'all going to be seeing her on the show a lot more often. Bars for Breakfast is definitely a platform to help individuals get their stories out, artists, entrepreneurs, you know what I mean, investors. And we just want to make sure that it's very clear on where we stand when it comes down to our beliefs and what we're trying to do for the people. So let them know how you feel on your way out the door. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely want to leave, I guess, some words of wisdom, of words of encouragement. If you're at the point where you're feeling like right now in your life, nothing is going the right way, nothing is working, don't give up, because the moment you give up, you won't ever really be able to understand how truly close you were to your breakthrough. You have to be able to get through the breaking point to get to your breakthrough. So don't give up. Like, really spend that time with God. Really, really search and find your purpose and understand what your purpose is, and go out here and crush it.
That's a bar. Yo, thanks for listening, man. Stay tuned. Bars for Breakfast. Let's go.